Hello, newbies. This is Chinese Pod, and I'm Ken Carroll.
Hi, I'm Jenny.
We are traveling today.
Yes, and we are away on business.
We're on business, that's right. Now, this is a relatively challenging newbie lesson. If you've never studied any Chinese before, you'll still get this, but it will be more challenging, and there are other lessons in the newbie space that you'll find slightly less challenging.
Yes.
And there's one word here that maybe we could help to preview the lesson, Jenny. I think you know which word I mean.
I know.
Yep.
The word is 出差. 出差.
出差.
Yes.
Now, what would that sound like if you had... It sounds kind of funny, actually, to me. Let's hear it one more time.
出差.
出差. There you go. Now, it actually means what? Why don't you tell us what it means?
It means a business trip.
A business trip. And that does not, no more sounds to me like a business trip than anything I can imagine. But there you go. And that's Chinese for you. Sometimes these very nice little expressions. You're going to hear it in context, and we're going to talk about it a little bit more and show you how to use it and so on.
Yes.
Let's go and listen. A little bit more context. Who's involved in this little exchange, Jenny?
Well, we will hear two people
Yep.
conducting a phone conversation.
Yes.
One of them is 出差
Yeah.
on a business trip.
Yeah.
And his friend is calling him.
Good. All right, that's enough clues. Let's slowly put it together. So let's listen 3 times and then we'll come back and we'll take a look at it in more details.
Dialogue first time.
你在哪里？
我在广州出差。
你不在北京？
对，我明天回北京。
Second time.
你在哪里？
我在广州出差。
你不在北京？
对，我明天回北京。
Third time.
你在哪里？
我在广州出差。
你不在北京？
对，我明天回北京。
We often have people tell us things like,
I gave learning Mandarin a shot, but then I realized I really don't have enough time to commit to it.
folks who felt this way love Chinese Pod Recap. In as little as 90 seconds a day, you can refresh what you've learned so far while adding a bit of what's new to your daily learning. An innovative language learning tool to fit the busy, fast-paced lifestyle of today's professionals.
Okay, good. Let's do what we usually do at this point and let's translate it.
你在哪里?
Where are you?
你在哪里?
Where are you?
你在哪里? 我在广州出差。
I'm in Guangzhou on a business trip.
我在广州出差。
I'm in Guangzhou on a business trip.
我在广州出差。你不在北京。
Oh, you're not in Beijing?
你不在北京。
You're not in Beijing?
你不在北京。对，我明天回北京。
Correct. I'll be back in Beijing tomorrow.
对，我明天回北京。
Correct. Tomorrow, I'm back in Beijing.
对，我明天回北京。
Okay. Now, because there's a lot in here, don't want to overanalyze this. So let's look in terms of patterns, okay? Now, the first sentence is a classic little pattern and has obviously high frequency applicability. What was that, Jenny?
It's 你在哪里？你在哪里？
So, 你在哪里? Meaning...
Where are you?
Good. So, the pronoun for you is...
你
And so when you're asking when somebody is, the sentence is...
你在哪里？你在 哪里
Good. That's the whole thing. So don't overanalyze it, I guess, is the way to go. 你在哪里? It could be used in any context where you want to ask someone where they are.
Yes.
Okay? Most likely going to happen on a phone or something. But it could be in the house. You might be downstairs or something and saying, huh?
你在哪里
Or the mother looking for the kid on the street or something.
你在哪里
There you go. Where are you? Now, in this case, he's in a city, and the city is called
广州 Guangzhou.
Guangzhou. Now, Guangzhou in English has traditionally been called Canton.
Yeah.
Right.
Canton is the name of the province.
Yes,
And Guangzhou is the provincial capital.
that's right. But even the city used to be called Canton in the old
Oh,
days.
是吗？
Yeah. But I think these days, people, even in English, they're more likely to talk, possibly, I think, to call the city
广州
Guangzhou. The tones are 3 and 1. Let's hear them, please.
广州
Guangzhou.
广州
There you go. That's a city. It's a massive city in the south of China. It's very close to Hong Kong. It's a wonderful and a fascinating place to
Yes.
visit. I strongly recommend. And that's the region where the Cantonese dialect comes from, in fact.
Yep.
I think you can hear some in the background there,
Oh,
actually.
yes.
It's also interesting that most Chinese speakers, well, maybe not most now, but in the past, most Chinese speakers in the United States actually spoke Cantonese as opposed to Mandarin.
Yeah, because that's their origin.
Well, a lot of them did come from that region. Okay, but let's get back to the sentence. So the full sentence was, I'm in Guangzhou on a business trip.
我在广州出差
Good. Now, without overanalyzing it, let's the phrase, I'm in Guangzhou.
我在广州我在广州
Good. How about I'm in Shanghai?
我在上海我在上海
Good. And if you were in Beijing, you could say,
我在北京我在北京
good. Now, let's get back to, so he says, I'm in Guangzhou on a business trip, and we had that phrase again.
出差出差
Good. So that's the whole thing. I'm in Guangzhou on a business trip. Okay, good. Now, his pal is saying, so you're not in Beijing. Presumably, he's normally based in Beijing, and probably his pal is calling from there.
Yeah.
So he's like, you're not in Beijing?
你不在北京你不在北京
Right. Now, you're not. The negative is formed here by adding
不
bu. Good. Now, if you said you are in Beijing, you would just say,
你在北京
great.
你在北京
And let's have the negative one more.
你不在北京
Good. 你不在北京. Right. Good. Now, that's obviously a question. It sounds like a statement, but it's obviously a question. It's,
Yeah.
You're not in Beijing. And he says correct.
对
对
对
对.
Yes.
Great phrase.
Yep. Fourth tone.
You use it every single day of your life. Or you're, I don't know, somebody has a taxi driver, somebody asks, is that right? You just say,
对
对
对
对. Yeah. Now, tomorrow we'll be back in Beijing.
我明天回北京我明天回北京
Okay, now let's look at the words here. The word order. So the first word was
我
meaning I,
Yep.
and the next word was tomorrow.
明天明天
And a return to,
回
and of course Beijing is.
北京
Now the tones for Beijing are
Third and first.
third and first. So literally speaking, the syntax here, the way it works is I tomorrow return Beijing.
Yes. 我明天回北京
我明天回北京.
Yes.
Now, of course, and you could change the city to Shanghai or whatever, or of course, Guangzhou and
Yep.
so on. Good. Nice patterns there. Very, very rich in terms of lexis and patterns. I do strongly recommend that you listen to this over a few times. And the tone of it is also interesting. It just gives you, I think, a flavor of the way the language is actually really used.
Yes. Now let's revisit the dialogue
Yeah.
3 more times.
Yeah.
Dialogue first time.
你在哪里？
我在广州出差。
你不在北京？
对，我明天回北京。
Second time.
你在哪里？
我在广州出差。
你不在北京？
对，我明天回北京。
Third time.
你在哪里？
我在广州出差。
你不在北京？
对，我明天回北京。
A lot of students of Chinese Pod tell us while they love to speak and listen to Mandarin, they are a bit intimidated to learn how to read and write in it because of the complexity of Chinese characters. That's why we created the 66 Characters series. Try it and see for yourself.
Okay, Jenny, tell us something about Canton or Guangzhou. Have you been there? What do you know about the place?
Yes, I have been to Guangzhou.
Yeah.
A very dynamic place.
Yes.
Wonderful food.
Yes.
The most delicious street food I've ever had.
Well, yeah, Cantonese food is regarded as the best in China, certainly
Yeah.
by the Chinese. I mean, and there's some pretty stiff competition for that. But I think most Chinese would agree that probably Cantonese is the best.
Yes.
And I think it's also interesting, we mentioned the influence that Cantonese, the language, has had.
Cantonese has been a dialect that has kept its prominence.
Yes.
A lot of places like Shanghai and other places now with migration.
Yes.
Many people say we're losing our dialects.
Yeah.
But in Guangzhou, people seem to be keeping the dialect very well. And if you watch TV, there are a lot of programs in the local dialect.
Yes. There are also many, many millions of people who actually speak Cantonese in southern China.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a huge group of the population. Most of them also, of course, do speak Mandarin. I mean, you can speak Mandarin there, it's fine. But they're more likely to speak the local dialect.
Yes.
So it's a fascinating place. I mean, the difference as well is it's markedly different. You know, when you travel from the north to the south, the culture is a bit different. The climate is different. The food,
The people.
the weather. So it's, some people think, oh, China is one great big mass. No, it's radically different in some ways from north to south. Not a subject we could exhaust here by any means, but yeah, I hope that was useful. It's a little bit about Canton and the region down there.
Yes.
And useful language for traveling and so on. Hope it was fun. We'll be back again tomorrow with more.
Yes. In the meantime, don't forget to go to ChinesePod.com.
Yeah. Okay.
We
Well.
will see you there.
All right. 再见.
再见。